Howdy y'all, got the Bulldog on the channel. This truck here that we believed was going to need a brake line does not need a brake line. I thought I remembered going out and checking it, but I'm always having to look at these Chevy trucks and they always got brake lines bad, so maybe I mixed it up with another one because we've done 3 or 4 of them since this one's been in. But you know, the master cylinder up there was completely empty on the front tank, which is the rear brakes. It's a small one. So you know, we figured that's what we were looking at. I shot a little brake fluid in it, and Darren went to pumping away and pumping and pumping, and no leak. They eventually pumped up to a pretty good pedal, just a freckle of air in it somewhere. Well, I rolled back here and looked, and yeah, it's got drum brakes. That's something that these things are kind of famous for, is wheel cylinders seeping a little bit if it sits still. If it sits for a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, I've seen them completely empty on brake fluid, and then you dump fluid in them and they seem to come back and be just fine. Mitzi, I just poured fluid in it and pumped the brakes and they came back. We figured we better pull the drums off and check, and we're looking at them and there's not any wet fluid anywhere on the outside, but here, look at this. This is what you're going to find. You take you a little pick, you pull back inside, I think you can see that right there. It's probably glaring. But just a little bit of moisture on the inside of that dust cover. This part here is not the seal. This is the dust cover. It keeps all the junk off. The actual seal that seals the brake fluid is on the inside. They call that the cup. They've got the piston and the cup. And then they have a little plunger or whatever, and yeah. But the rubber seal's on the inside. They got the metal plunger that pushes out on your brake shoe, and this rubber piece on the outside, it just to keep junk out. If you see fluid leaking, that means it's gotten through the seal and the dust cover. But most of the time, it doesn't get through the dust cover, or it doesn't leak enough to really show up. What they do is they start just collecting junk all over them, and they get all nasty. If they're leaking to the outside, then that's a pretty big leak. But the other side is just a little bit worse than this one. She's going to get by. Probably a brake line would have been cheaper, but wheel cylinders aren't that much. A little bit of labor to put them on, not bad. But we'll throw some set of wheel cylinders on it. Shoes are good. Looks like all the spring kits and everything are there, so just throw them on there, pump it up, leave it all out, be good to go. But that's the thing, you got to double check yourself, especially if you had a little bit of time in between. And here's another thing these Chevy trucks are famous for. Look at that. Won't be too long and that rear axle will be Bluetooth. There's a spring shop over in town that can do it a lot cheaper than we can. They use American steel. Well, they used to use American steel. I don't even know if you can get American steel anymore. But it's a family business. Been doing it for 100 years, so we'll let them get after it. send the customer over there. The last job they did was shackles on one of these trucks, and shoot, they did it half as much as we could, because they do it all the time. And they keep that stuff in stock. They don't have to buy it from the dealer or anything, so you know, if they can do it for half as much as we can and make money at it, they can just do it. I don't like doing them anyway. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.